All right, let's look at question 5 over here, where we are given the graph, so which means we're going to have to answer questions based on the graph. So now it says the sketch below shows the graph of h at x. The asymptotes of h intersected a. Okay, now it would mean that this x asymptote here, we can say that this is x is equals to -4. The y asymptote would say that this is y is equals to what? Is equals to 3. Therefore, it means that the coordinates here are -4 is 2, 3. Those are the coordinates of A, right? The asymptotes of H, okay, intersected A. The graph of A intersects the x-axis, which means that the B here will be the x-intercept, and then C will be the y-intercept, right? So now write down the coordinates of A. So already said that the coordinates of A would be -4 is 2, 3. Next, calculate the coordinates of B. B is an x-intercept, so we're going to say -9 over x plus 4 plus 3 is equals to 0. Now, some of you are used to working from one side, so someone will be confused, why am I putting the 0 at the side? If I was to put the 0 here and say 0 is equals to 3, it's actually the same thing, right? So now please don't get used to working from one side. It's actually still the same thing. So -9 over x plus 4 plus 3, it's a 3 is equals to 0. So we're going to take the 3 over. So it's going to be -9 is equals to -3. We still have that x plus 4 here. Now we're going to cross multiply. So -9 will be equal to -3 multiplied by x is going to be -3x. -3 multiplied by 4 is going to be -12, right? So we're going to take the -12 over. So it's going to be -9 plus 12 is equals to -3x. Okay, so now -9 plus 12, that's going to give us -3 as our +3 as our answer. -3x. Then you divide by -3, you end up with x as -1. So we can conclude that the coordinates of B are what? -1 is 2, 0. Those are the coordinates of B. All right, let's look at the next one. The next question says, calculate the coordinates of C, C, which is a y-intercept. So this is 5.2. 5.3, we want the coordinates of C, C being the y-intercept. So we're going to take our equation and say f at what? 0. And then we're going to have -9 over 0 plus 4, and then plus 3, right? And then now we're just going to simplify that. So -9, 4 plus 3, we end up with 3 over 4, which means that the coordinates of C then are 0 is 2, 3 over 4. All right, that's done. Now let's look at the next one. The next question says, describe the transformation from H to J at X, which is equals to -9 over X. Okay, now -9 over X, what does it mean? Let's see. We started with H at X, which was -9 over X plus 4, right? Plus 3, yeah, plus 3, that's what we were having. So now what happened? The 4 is gone, right? And the only way that 4 will be gone is if you say what? -4. So subtracting means we have shifted to the right. So when I say shifted to the right by 4 units. Okay, that's the first one. And then the 3 is gone, so which means you said -3. And 3 units downwards. 3 units downwards. All right, done. Now it says determine the coordinates of the points on J that are closest to the origin. Now, when they say is, we need to determine what is our axis of symmetry for the graph of J, and then we're going to equate the two, the graph of J and then the axis of symmetry. That's what the question is asking us to do. Now, let's look at something. If I am to sketch the graph of J, okay, this is just a rough sketch. If you are to sketch the graph of J, this graph of J will go like this, and then it will also go like this. That's what it means. So now we can have two asymptotes, one which can go like this, you see, and then one which can go like this. Now, do you see that the closest points to the origin, this is the point that is closest to the origin here. And then this is the other point that is closest to the origin. And where do these points lie? They lie on the axis of symmetry that has what? That has a negative gradient. So it means you have to find the equation of the axis of symmetry with the negative gradient. Now remember we said our equation of the axis of symmetry, we have y is equals to negative x plus c, right? And the other one x plus c. Now, because we don't have asymptotes, it means that the value of c will be what? Will be 0. So it means that the axis of symmetry we are focusing on is the y is equals to negative x. So we're going to take this y is equals to negative x as your equation, and then you're going to equate it to what? To j at x. So now let's do the calculation. You're going to say negative 9 over x is equal to negative x, like that. All right, so now we're going to cross multiply. So it's going to be negative 9 is equal to negative x squared. Okay, now I'm going to bring this x squared over, which is going to be x squared minus 9 is equals to 0. We have a difference of two squares. So it's going to be x plus 3, and then it's going to be x minus 3 is equal to 0, which will give us x is equal to negative 3 or x is equal to positive 3. So those are the x values for those points closest to the origin. But we also need to find the y values. So you can actually substitute into this equation here. Then, so now we can say that it means that the other y value will be y is equal to, now because this is a negative 3, put a negative 3 here, it's going to be what? A positive 3, right? Or the other one, it's going to be, put a positive 3, you're going to end up with a negative 3. Therefore, it means that the point we're having negative 3 is to 3, and we are having 3 is to negative 3. All right, so those are the points that are closest to the origin.